Identify your strengths and weaknesses. Most executives, even senior ones, are not sure about their strengths and weaknesses. However, this is a standard question that is asked in most interviews nowadays. Also, this concept is subjective and varies from industry to industry. For example, what is considered strengths and weaknesses for the corporate world may be the opposite in the army. However, if you are a corporate executive, it's better to have some knowledge of your strengths and weaknesses in case you need it for some interview, employee survey, etc. Here is a useful list of strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. If you have been invited to an interview, it means the employer sees some potential in you. However, bragging too much or listing dozens of strengths will sound unrealistic. So, try to avoid going overboard with your strengths. Let us now look at some useful strengths. Flexibility, also known as adaptable and versatile. For example, you can say, "I am flexible because can adapt to change. I can multitask and work with several different clients simultaneously to jump from one project to the other without any issues." Dedication, also known as passionate and loyal. For example, you can say, "I am passionate about what I do, and when I am involved in any project, I give my 100% to achieve the expected results for the customer." Positive attitude, also known as upbeat and cheerful. For example, you can say, "I know how stressful this industry can be, but I can keep my calm without blowing my fuse and focus on the end goal." I rarely lose my temper or get into instant arguments with anyone. Creativity, also known as a problem solver or innovative. For example, you can say, "I like to brainstorm and develop solutions that are out of the box." In my previous job, I worked on a technology project that required constant innovation and upgrades to the software, and I received 2 industry awards for my suggestions for improvement. Leadership skills, also known as being able to guide and lead. For example, you can say, "Over the years I have learned the ability to successfully lead medium to large teams. My manager used to travel extensively and would be frequently away for several weeks. And I was the one he would hand the baton to take care of the team, make decisions, and manage issues during his absence." Empathy, also known as caring and listener. For example, you can say, "I can relate to people and understand their emotions and needs. I started my career in a stressful customer service job and have experience in calmly dealing, listening, and solving issues for angry, impatient customers." Continuous learning, also known as seeking knowledge. For example, you can say, "I have been working in software development for several years, and this involved continuously upgrading our coding skills and knowledge of the latest software in the market." So, I was always involved in continuous learning of software tools by reading books, articles, and online courses. Weaknesses. Now let us look at weaknesses. The secret to answering your weaknesses is to ensure that the answer does not ruin your chances of being hired or contradictory to your strengths. Everyone has weaknesses, so there is nothing to be worried about. Self-criticism, also known as too introspective. For example, you can say, "At times I become too critical of myself and worry about what more I could have done, instead of what I have achieved. This was causing me stress. But I am now able to pause and stop being extremely critical of myself." Delegating, also known as not too controlling or protective. For example, you can say, "Sometimes I involuntarily want to control the entire project and do all critical tasks myself. This has resulted in me getting burned out. But now I have learned that delegation helps me to achieve more and also enhances teamwork and trust in my department." Public speaking, also known as fear of the stage. For example, you can say, "Public speaking has always made me nervous even though I know my subject well. But this was not needed in any of my previous jobs. However, this is an area I need to improve for my future career." Now let us listen to some famous quotes. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. Arnold Schwarzenegger. In most cases, strengths and weaknesses are two sides of the same coin. A strength in one situation is a weakness in another, yet often the person can't switch gears. It's a very subtle thing to talk about strengths and weaknesses because almost always they're the same thing. Steve Jobs. Our strength grows out of our weakness. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Everyone, regardless of ability or disability, has strengths and weaknesses. Know what yours are, build on your strengths and find a way around your weaknesses. Brad Cohen. Team leaders have to connect with their team and themselves. If they don't know their team's strengths and weaknesses, they cannot hand off responsibilities to the team. And if they don't know their own strengths and weaknesses, they will not hand off responsibilities to the team. John C. Maxwell. There are two kinds of weakness, that which breaks and that which bends. James Russell Law. A truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of sheep. Vernon Howard. Cultivate a deep understanding of yourself. Not only what your strengths and weaknesses are but also how you learn, how you work with others, what your values are, and where you can make the greatest contribution. Because only when you operate from strengths can you achieve true excellence. Peter Drucker. That's all folks. Thanks for watching.